Hello and welcome everyone to the Warhammer Meta Chasers. This is your weekly tournament rundown show where we go over the biggest and best tournaments for Warhammer 40,000 all around the world. This is live. My name is Paul Murphy, your host. I'm joined by Adam Camilleri
G'day.
and Dustin Henshaw.
G'day.
Yeah, beat that, Dusty. You ain't get me this time.
Yeah, you're lucky. You came prepared. You came prepared.
How we're going to ramp up the competition, but I'm glad we kept it at a simmer, slow boil. Welcome to everybody in the chat. Nurgle Matt, thank you for joining us. Downvoting people, Demek Boy, A Steve, Dorian, KR, Snow Days. Good to see y'all. How is everybody doing on this wonderful Thursday? Could be Friday for some people out there in the world right now.
I bet Demek Boy's pretty happy right now if he's an Orc player.
Yeah, wow.
It was a pretty good yesterday for a lot of Warhammer players, but that's future news. I don't think any of the events we're going to be talking about this week are going to be having some of that sweet infusion yet. But if you're listening to us later on the podcast aggregators, know we do this live. You can come join us here with this amazing chat group of folks. We're going to be bringing you 3 lovely events, and we also have an event shout out, the March for Macragge in Singapore. 48 players, 5-round event. Warhammer's happening all over the world.
So awesome. When I saw that coming up on BCP, I was like, hell yeah, shouting you out. And I want you to know in Singapore you are seen on the world stage.
Yeah, awesome. Good luck to everybody playing all around the world. The first event we're going to be talking about is the Shooting Klappen. From Erkenklins, Germany. 146 players, 5-round event. What are we going to see there?
We'll be seeing in the Imperial's profession 6 Sisters of Battle. Ooh, back in Foresight say that's a lot of sisters we've seen there.
Maybe they are using this.
Maybe they are using it, yeah.
They're not, but yeah.
Wow, okay. Good on them then.
Well, not using the new points at least. Sorry.
Yeah, okay. 10 Custodes, 2 Admech, 9 Astra Militarum, 4 Grey Knights, and 4 Imperial Knights. Space Marines, there's 8 Adeptus Astartes, 4 Dark Angels, 4 Space Wolves, 6 Blood Angels, and 2 Death Watch. Chaos, there's 7 Chaos Space Marines, 2 T-Suns, 5 Death Guard, 2 World Eaters, 7 Demons, and 4 Chaos Knights. Xenos, there's 14 Necrons, 13 Orcs, 3 Tau, and 6 Votan. Hive Mind, there's 7 Tyranids and 5 Jesus are called. Force of the Hive Mind out in force. Wow. And Eldari, there's 2 Drukhari and 10 Eldari. Meaning the faction podium is Necrons topping off with 14, Orcs behind them with 13, then Eldari and Custodes tied with 10, Astra Militarum behind them with 9, and then Adeptus Astartes with 8. That's actually a crazy podium. Like, it's not surprising to see any of them up there, I don't think. I think all those are pretty much expected. Custodes may be a little surprising, but everything else.
No, so the surprise is actually Necrons. So the surprise, like we haven't seen Necrons be a consistent. So they're consistent top 5, if not top 3. But it's actually quite rare at the moment to see them in number 1. At least over the last kind of 2 months. Yeah. So I wonder, and if you were to say anything about Germany right now, they're mad for Votan.
Yes.
They've probably got the best Votan players in the world. They're doing stuff with Votan that no one else seems to be able to replicate and or understand. I don't understand it. But yeah, there's only 6 of them. So that's an interesting one. So they got, just like in all of Germany, they got 6 Votan players, but they're all juggernauts.
Well, I'm thinking about that play style though, is that with their armor Custodes, there are fewer Death Guard than I would imagine, really.
Yes.
So I bet that they are kind of spread out between that new Custodes, resurgence, the Votan, and the Death Guard. I bet it's a similar group of players.
I wouldn't be surprised either. Also, Adeptus Astartes seeing a little bit of a drop-off. We've seen, Codex Adeptus Astartes be one of the top 3 in a huge amount of events over the last 3 months, ever since the +1 to wound came in. But now Blood Angels all of a sudden are starting to catch back up again. And Dark Angels, Space Wolves, and Death Watch dropping off a little bit. But Templars, none to be seen. No agents, not a surprise either. But some of the other interesting numbers is it's a little bit less Astra Militarum than I would have considered. And I wonder if that is because of Orcs. So Orcs tend to have a pretty reasonable game into the old Astra Militarum, because right now Astra Militarum is dealing death via single activations. Death from single Rogal Dawn activations, death via single, deep striking 6-inch Scion bombs. None of these things accurately account for a truck in a ruin, as a truck, behind a ruin. The Rogue Dawn can't see it, so you can either deep strike your scions and blow up the truck, and you get dead, or you have to play in a different way. Especially people are pivoting away from the bridgehead now that I took quite a few nerfs over to Hammer of the Emperor. Some maybe even some combined arms. People heading back over there, so it could be we see a little bit of a dip for Astra Militarum in the short term, but I definitely believe they'll be up there and are still one of the strongest armies in the game. Also,
175 data slates. People are going to find that whatever the new hotness is. Sometimes it just takes a couple of weeks.
Exactly right. People just sit down and be like, "Oh yeah, that exists. Let's take 3 of those." And Eldari is a little on the middling numbers. I would have thought they'd be more up with the 13s, 14s with the Orcs, but 10 is still plenty. Got one list.
With that, with the Eldari, I want to comment too, is that there has been no one singular killer list. There's not been something that I've seen so far perform in a way that everyone says that's what we'll take now.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Do you think it's going to start changing now? Is people going to start pivoting away from aspect hosts with the change that just happened? Because I think that was
I believe that
Ynnari and aspect hosts, I think, are the most popular ones right now. Well,
so
changes,
it's
right?
But the thing is, the internal balance in that book is so good that if Ynnari and aspect host took significant nerfs, which they kind of didn't, they took a bit of like they lost one unit of 5 guys at the worst. There's like next level downs are only marginally weaker.
The Wind Rider host, the War host, those are both good.
Yeah, I mean, Council's fine. Yeah. Anyway, one list for your viewing pleasure. This is Mike Loga. This is the WTC Team Germany captain for last year's WTC. He's playing Orcs. He's playing a tactical brigade. So here we have a little bit changed. So there's no Breaker Boys in here, and instead he's gone for Zodrog with a big unit of Gretchen and 2 by Beast Nagaboy packages with their beast bosses. But the list reads as thus: 2 beast bosses, 1 with Mork's Cunning, big mech and mega armor with mech captain, of course, 3 big mechs, shock attack guns, 1 single solo mech, which I actually really like, a single war boss, Zodrog, like I said, 2 by 10 beast Nagaboys, 2 by 5 storm boys, 3 trucks, 10 flash kits, 20 10-10 Gretchen, 5 knobs, and 3 by 6 tank busters. This looks like a tactical brigade and a warhorde had a baby to me. A lot
we
more
haven't
than
seen those Gretchen units like that in a while, have we?
No, we haven't. And I think it's extremely powerful, Zodrog's unit. It's going to be even better, I believe, in the next detachment as well, which I think makes that one of... I believe that detachment makes Zodrog's combo one of the best utility units in the whole game because it can do everything.
It's crazy, yeah. I'm going to say, too, you're talking about being in Germany, not seeing that many Votann. This looks kind of like an Orc Votann list.
It kind of does, yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Let's be real.
Yep. Yeah, that's totally fair. I would like to say that I think that has been found with Tactical Brigade is that you can go too deep into the damage dealing aspects. Like by taking the units of 5 flash kits, you can take 2 or 3 units of 6 break boys, and you can find yourself just having just all damage and no utility. This one strikes a much better balance in my mind, and I think plays the primary extremely well with essentially 5 knobs plus war boss, and then 2 beast Nagger boys plus their respective war bosses as being great melee trading units, and especially the beast bosses being really good for taking out mechanized and monsters on objectives. Extremely powerful there with that.
He's got like 75 points with units so that the size of your head they can claim as backfield, and everything else can just go. This seems strong.
Yeah, really good list. I did do a detachment breakdown for you of Necrons because it was the top list of the top number in attendance. And it reads as thus. So we've got 14 lists in attendance, 14 players taking Necrons, 5 of which are Awakened Dynasty, 8 of which are still playing Shatterstar Arsenal, and 1 Chad playing Obeisance Phalanx.
I wouldn't have guessed that many Shatterstar.
Me either.
I'd like to ask what Obeisance Phalanx does.
That's the one that's all about nobles and the Praetorians. Like +1 to wound things on objectives. I mean, it's not nothing.
Okay.
It's not awful. Yeah, it's not a bad detachment by any means. I keep expecting to see Awakened Dynasty back as the number 1 taken at some point. Especially now with the DDAs going up once again, being quite expensive for what they do. But yeah, Shatterstar still over and above the most taken there.
I'm got straight nobody's using Hypercrypt anymore. Just dead in the water.
Well, yeah. Well, hold on there for a minute. I might have one of those coming up later.
Oh, sorry. I mean,
watch the space spoilers.
Yeah.
But as I was someone got absolutely wrecked, me, by Awakened Dynasty, I'm like, that's a pretty good detachment.
Yeah.
It's a very good detachment, mate. It's very good. And what I love about, I guess one of the the big compliments I'll say to the design space of 10th edition is that because they did such a thorough, like they gave people such good index detachments. Gladius, Invasion, Awakened Dynasty, the list goes on. Hallowed Martyrs now for Sisters as well. That when, things get a little bit tough for some of the Codex detachments, or Grotmus in this case, you just go back to Old Reliable and you just find yourself in the warm embrace of just a well-rounded, good detachment again. I think they've done that really well.
That's a great point.
Pick
so
some
now
winners.
now the part of the show where we predict who is going to win this thing, what faction is going to win this thing. Singles event, a little bit more straightforward than team events.
All right, Paul, choose your destiny, sir.
Ooh, I get to go first.
You're no. You get to pick. You get to pick the number you want on the D3.
Oh, 4.
Specifically,
oh, sorry,
3.
Specifically 4. No. He said 4. Don't give him the extra.
He said 4.
I'll take it. I'll take specifically 4.
All right, Dustin, you're 1. I'm 2. Dustin, Paul's 3. That's Dustin on a 4.
Oh,
it was a 4.
What?
It was a 4?
I was rolling a D3 though, so it's a 2.
Oh, I don't know. I feel like Paul should actually.
All right,
Chat.
fine. I feel
Get in the comments.
I feel like the hand of destiny.
Yeah, if it was actually a 4, he really should have.
It actually was a 4. Damn. All right, Paul, what do you want?
Orcs.
Dang it. We all knew that was coming.
Yeah.
All right, Dustin, what would you like?
I'll take Votan then.
Yeah, that's the nuanced pick. I'm gonna go Eldari for safety. Just the security blanket. But yeah, Votan is the spice pick because we just know how good those players are. And it's so interesting we're seeing this start to happen. Like, I mean, Canada's got like the best, Drakari player in the world. In Skari, we've seen people in France with Death Guard doing things that no one else can do with Death Guard, and these things are just popping up all over the place. It's really quite exciting.
Loving it. I love it. It's that kind of field out there where that can actually happen, and you're not feeling like you're limping into any particular event as long as you've designed your list to play the missions and play what could be anybody. Take all comers. Next event we're going to be talking about is the California Team Championships from Los Angeles, California. 210 players in 42 teams of 5. I got to give a shout out to Cal Norman here for assisting Adam with the stats. We love you very much. Thank you very much.
Saved half an hour of my life. Appreciate you.
Very precious half hour.
Deeply.
That is precious half hour. Mm-hmm. But what are we going to see there? So keep in mind, a team event, you cannot use the same codex more than once.
Mm-hmm.
And we try to look at what factions get close or cross above that 50% line for what could be available.
Yeah. And I think we're reevaluating that in because of the depth and spread of the current metagame. We're looking at more of like a third. A third is like a very good faction geographically in this area for what people think is going to work on their mission structure, their tables, etc.
Yep.
What's going to be there?
Let's see what we're actually going to be seeing there. For the Imperial faction, there is an Imperial agent, and
that means one more Death Watch.
And I had to pause it for a second because the next one is 0 Sisters of Battle. So,
yep.
But how much you want to bet there is a Sister of Battle and an Immolator in those Imperial agents?
And probably in the Imperial Knights.
And probably the Imperial Knights, yeah. So the Sisters are still going to be represented. Let's be real.
Yeah.
And typically, though, I think you can only use that. I mean, I don't know about every team list or this particular, but would that count as absorbing one of?
Officially, right now, the WTC, you can use it in both the Imperial agent and whatever, like additional codex.
Like you could take Death Watch as its own list as Adeptus Astartes, and that would take up Adeptus Astartes. But if you took a Death Watch, like real Death Watch based Imperial Agents list, that would only take up Imperial Agents.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's the currently at least. We'll see if that changes.
It might change because there's a lot of allies getting in, so it's going to get complicated.
Well, things are going to get messy if what they say is true about all the cult legions. World leaders get Chaos Demons stuff. It could get a little messy in the future. We'll see.
Real messy. And then there's 11 Custodes, 1 AdMech, 13 Astra Militarum, 7 Grey Knights, and 8 Imperial Knights. Space Marines, there's 13 Adeptus Astartes, 7 Dark Angels, 4 Space Wolves, 5 Blood Angels, and 2 Black Templars, and 3 Death Watch. Chaos, there's 11 Chaos Space Marines, 0 T-Suns in attendance as well. That's...
Yeah, very surprising in a team's event.
Oof. 11 Death Guard, 12 War Leaders, 15 Demons, and 2 Chaos Knights. Xenos, there's 12 Necrons, 15 Orcs, 9 Tau, 9 Votan. Hive Mind, there's 12 Tyranids and 4 Gene Stealer Cult. Eldari, there's 3 Drukhari and 20 Eldari. That is still not half the teams in attendance taking it, though.
Apologies. I missed one Eldari. That's 21.
That is exactly half.
It's exactly half. I got it correct on the faction podium, but I forgot to add it to the faction breakdown.
Stand by what I said originally.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that means the faction podium is technically total Astartes at 34, which again, because they all count towards the same codex, they are taken en masse. There's only 8 teams that did not take a Space Marine of some flavor. Eldari really topping off with 21. Demons and Orcs tied in second with 15. Astra Militarum and Astartes with 13. And then Nids, Krons, and World Eaters with 12. That is a fantastic spread.
It is. Once you get past Eldari, it's just beautiful, glorious.
It's not surprising with Eldari, really. And honestly, the fact that, like, we should still count the fact that Astartes takes up 80%, 75% of the field there of teams that are taking Space Marines of some flavor. That's a lot more than teams taking Eldari. Now, I thought Eldari would be a lot more popular than that, to be honest.
Yeah, considering you can build a list out of your old figures, like some of the figures. I mean,
they're strong. And they're like one of those all-combat armies, too. So, and I figured there was a lot of Eldari players. I thought there was not as many Eldari players as Space Marines, but let's be real. there's not anything as many players as Space Marines, but
so so here's the thing, this Eldari Codex is perfect for people who played 4th through 6th edition Eldari armies.
Right.
If you built a 7th, 8th, or 9th edition Eldari army, you don't have anywhere near half of what you need.
You gotta trade those Wraith Lords in, not Wraith Lords, sorry, the
Wraith Knights
in, yeah.
The 30 Shining Spears you've got, the 60 to 80 Guardians that you've got, and you're just like, I just need some Fire Dragons. Like, where are all the Fire Dragons at? You know, these things weren't good since 5th edition. Where do I get some now? Like, so there is that. There could be definitely some hobby lag holding people's collections back.
For sure.
We got some faction breakdowns, I think, for teams, and then the overall detachments for one of these major factions.
So the beautiful Kyle Norman was able to provide me with the combined LVO score, so ELO scores of all the teams in attendance. And so I broke down for you the top ELO ranked team in attendance on combined score. So this is Xenos Petting Zoo, or XPZ Alpha. They start off with a Necron Shatterstar, got an Adeptus Astartes Ultramarines Gladius Task Force, Chaos Demons, Demonic Incursion. So not going with any of the single god flavors, going with the catch-all. A Grey Knights Warpbane Task Force, and then an Orcs Tactical Brigade. Now, there's a couple of things here that definitely could be here. So there's no Astra Militarum in this lineup, which is, I'm not going to say it's a whole, because they've probably got some significant plans of how to deal with Astra Militarum should that happen. Probably Be'lakor sitting with 4 greater demons in your deployment zone until, you force all the bridgehead units to hit the ground and then go eat them. But the fact that there's 13 Astra Militarum and not one in here is quite surprising. They also chose to go with the Adeptus Astartes Ultramarines Gladius as their choice, when essentially, like, as Space Marines have infinite choices of what you can do in the team's list. And then they went with both the demons and the anti-demons. So I know the Warpbane Task Force is a very good defender. I mean, that's going to change a little bit now that the Purgation Squads no longer get their rerolls when shooting from out of line of sight. And so that's going to be an interesting one to see how that develops. And then, not going with Slanesh, which, is kind of dead now. But also, we've seen Skinnerladen Legion and the Blood Legion both perform relatively well. And the Nurgle detachment is extremely good in teams. I got to tell you, like, especially now the changes that happened in that list, it's even going to get even better in teams.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah. The +1 toughness aura, changing from the 6 of pain to the +1 toughness aura. So toughness 13, great unclean ones, toughness 6, plague bearers. You can just pair that into things that just don't hit those breakpoints well. And that thing can just be an invincible army to some matchups. So that's going to be an interesting one to see how that evolves also. But Great lineup. The only one, that I think they could have taken that would have made this lineup better, but they didn't, probably because they've got very specific players, very nuanced, execution here. Was that they didn't take a guard? Didn't take a guard list of the top armies. That's the only one that they've got here. They haven't got here.
Yeah, I mean, you might be right about those faction specialists, but there's also sometimes when you're gonna like if you think your toughest competition is gonna take one of those, you take the anti that.
That's true.
And try to weave it around that way. Maybe that's the play.
I looked at and broke down all of the Eldari lists, the 21 of them that were in attendance, just to see what detachments they were breaking, what is brewing out there. And Dustin's assertion previously was absolutely correct. Of the 21 in attendance, 9 were aspect host, 7 are devoted of your need, so the Inari list. 2 are playing Ghosts of the Webway. Absolutely awesome to see Harlequins. 1 Wind Rider host, 1 Seer Council, and 1
Seer
Guardian
Council.
Battle host. Yes, 1 Seer Council. So in teams, the Seer Council can be quite brutal because you can make a pretty legit little Death Star. Both that and the Guardian Battle host can make a pretty legit Death Star out of it.
Just stacking all the warlocks into the Guardian unit or something like that.
It's in the Guardian unit in the Battle host, and then you can do it in a Wind Rider unit or a Shining Spear unit. Oh no, sorry, not Shining Spear, a Wind Rider unit in the Seer Council if you want. So you take a full unit of 4 of the Warlock Conclave on bike, and then attach that to the Wind Riders, and then attach a Farseer on bike to that unit as well. And then all of a sudden you've got 11 bikes that all just kind of go wherever they want, do whatever they want, and leave. It's pretty wild. It's pretty good. Yeah. But yeah, Dustin, is this what you expected to see?
Aside from seeing a Seer Council and a Battle Host, yeah, that's exactly what I expected. I do see a lot of people, not a lot of people, I see it. There's a few people that are still testing the Harlequins, trying to see if there's still some interest in there, and there is. But obviously, right now, the Aspect Host and the Inari are the proven detachments in terms of not just singles, but teams as well. But with things change, maybe people are going to start pivoting. You never know.
Agreed.
You talk about those breakpoints with toughnesses and stuff, and so like the constructs can create that problem.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah,
there's none of those. That's the one detachment unit that's missing.
Yeah,
that and the War Host, and I was actually surprised not to see any
too,
War Host. Yeah, I was actually very surprised to not see any War Host. But yeah, those are the 2 omissions here. Apart from that, just about every other base is covered, except for the Gromus detachment, which
we don't talk about. We don't talk
about that. All right, let's pick some winners, boys. I went last. I will go first. We're going Eldari down the line, boys, all the way down.
Oh, okay.
We're going for it. Paul went first. So Paul goes last. Dustin, you're in the middle again.
Middleman. I like being in the middle. Where are we? We're in California. Orcs.
Nice. They do have some fantastic orc players. Paul.
I'll go with the Astartes.
Solid choice.
Not a bad pick. Only other, see, we didn't pick guard either. What's going on?
So what are you talking about? they didn't take guard. Like, well, we didn't pick them either.
Well, we didn't pick him either.
So you got to go with your gut. Next thing we're going to be talking about is the Battlefield of Birmingham from Birmingham, England. I wasn't sure where that was going. There's a lot of Birminghams.
There, yeah. Essentially, everywhere the British went, there is now a Birmingham. They just did that. But that's Birmingham, and that's Birmingham. See over there.
How you're pronouncing
Birmingham?
it?
That's old Birmingham.
Birmingham
is how I would have pronounced it if I knew it was in England.
Yeah.
Birmingham is how I pronounced it when it's 2 hours from me over there.
That's fair. Yeah.
But 85 players, 5-round event. What are we going to see?
We'll be seeing in the Imperial Superfaction there are 1 System Battle, 1 Custode, 4 Admech, 4 Astra Militarum, 3 Grey Knights, and 4 Imperial Knights. Space Marines, there's 5 Astartes, 1 Dark Angel, 1 Space Wolf, 3 Blood Angels, 1 Black Templar, 3 Death Watch. I think that's the first Black Templar we've seen so far in this show.
Yeah.
This week, yeah.
Yeah. Chaos, there's 1 Chaos Space Marine, 1 T-Sun, 2 Death Guards, 6 World Eaters, 4 Demons, and 1 Chaos Knight. Xenos, there's 9 Necrons, 5 Orcs, 4 Tau, and 1 Votan. Hive Mind, there's 6 Tyranids, 1 Genius to their cult. Eldari, there are 2 Drukhari and 11. Eldari, meaning the faction podium, is Eldari topping it off with 11. Necrons again in a podium position with 9. And then Tyranids and World Eaters in third with 6. That's a pretty big drop, actually.
It's a significant drop. It's a very interesting meta. Only a single Custody is super unders for current going rate. The same amount of Custodies and Chaos Space Marines as Thousand Suns. So Yeah, and Votan. Like there's a lot of single digit here's that must be geographical nuance. Must be just not having the players in that region because they're well unders for the rest of the world in comparatively. Whereas we have like a huge amount of like world eaters. This is like 6 world eaters players here.
This is the second appearance of world eaters in this podium list from the previous event is too, and that this has been weeks since we've seen them on the list.
Exactly right. Well, the thing was when Creations of Bile came out, everyone was of the opinion that Creations of Bile was just the new, better world eaters. That has been the case and has not been the case because one thing that the Creations of Bile players don't have is an Angron. An Angron can just decide to win you a freaking game if he just comes back at the right time in the right place. So people have found that Creations of Bile is exceptionally good. Exceptionally good. It's very good. It's probably the best pressure. It's probably the best pressure army in the game, but it wasn't quite the same as World Eaters. World Eaters bring a couple of things that Creations of Bile doesn't. But see, Creations of Bile actually can bring Daka, whereas World Eaters really can't. So there is that. So it's just a bit of a balancing for what you think your meta is going to be and whether or not you got to crack transports or not. Which doesn't look like this meta you do. So Eldari, maybe they've got 1 or 2 Wave Serpents. Necrons, pretty much. Yeah, no real take-in transports. And then Tyranids, there's no transports there either. So World Eaters are exactly what they want to do.
I think Wave Serpents and Falcons, too, are going to be, kind of what creeps in.
I'm waiting to see the Falcon plays start to come in because I think it's good. I think it's good. I'm not sure it's better or worse than what they're doing now because I don't play Eldari myself, but I think the Falcon's legit. All right. I have one list to pull out for you guys. This is Andy Quaz Cohen, who was I believe, correct me, and apologies if I'm wrong, but I know going into the LVO, he was the #1 Necron player in the world. And I'm pretty sure he left, he didn't attend the LVO. I'm pretty sure he maintained that post LVO. And yeah, that was the ITC last season. So he has got Hypercrypt Legion Necrons. And he's at the top of his list. Yeah, at the top of his list, it says, if at first you don't try, and then he says, try, like 50 times again at the end. So he's got Hypercrypt Legion, Silent King, of course, 3 Hexmark Destroyers, 1 with a Risen Tyrant, so there's an extra uppy downy option from the detachment rule. 2x5 Flayed Ones, 2x5 Triarch Praetorians. Now that is an interesting one to unpack. And I wonder if one of you boys while I'm chatting about this can pull that data sheet up because I'm interested to know what they do. 2x1 Solo Destroyers, 1 Heavy Destroyer, 1 Canoptic Spider to give out that 6-up Feel No Pain, 2 DDAs, and a Tesseract Vault. Madman. Love it. I love it.
The Triarch Praetorians.
Yep.
Their ability is Relentless Combatants. You can reroll charge rolls made for this unit, and the unit is eligible to declare a charge in a turn in which it fell back. So
he can always try for the 9 from reserve rerollable charges with the Triarchs if they uppy downy. That's pretty nice.
Rod of Covenant has damage 2, -2 AP.
Yeah, how many are they 2 attacks in combat or 3 attacks?
3.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad. So very good. So they're what, strength 6, 2 damage, 2
strength 5.
Strength 5, -2 damage.
Okay. Yep. So they're good Astartes killers. They're very good Orc killers. And yeah, that rerollable charge from reserve or just moving them there, they're 10 or 12 inches?
10. They're the jump pack version. So
yeah. So yeah, 10 inches through a wall. Like they can be a little bit of a deterrent for people who want to try and pressure the army as well. I like that quite a lot. Between them and the Silent King, I think that adds up to a nice little bit of anti-charge.
I like that 10-inch move, and then you can get the jump on like assault intercessors and things like that.
Perfect. Exactly right. The T-Vault, boys. How do we feel about this in the current meta?
Depends on the tables they're on. They're probably on UKTC?
Almost definitely.
Yeah, almost definitely. So I feel like they're okay on that.
I was about to say, on some GW boards and definitely WTC boards, you just can't move the dang thing.
Yeah.
And also, there's a bunch of matchups at the moment where you don't want it on an objective, like against Bridgehead. It can't be on an objective, and it's so freaking big. How is it not going to be on an objective?
It will be shot all the time. That's basically where.
Correct. So you don't want to give your opponent any extra juice to shoot you.
But maybe that's the fire magnet for this list, where everything else just gets in position and scores a bunch of points.
Yeah. Well, I guess the hope is the T-Vault draws it all out or draws out all the anti-tank, and then 2 DDAs and a Silent King uppy downy into firing lanes and pick up all the anti-tank. And then you don't have a response to the Silent King just goes off now and is kind of uncontestable.
Yeah, you're out of gas on.
I like the Silent King in Hypercrypt.
I like him a lot. Yeah, I like him a lot. He's killable versus the unkillable one in Shatterstar.
He's still killable.
I feel like the Shatterstar is now, because people are getting so good at like not getting dunked by DDAs because of how big they are, how far they move, and the fact that you kind of control what they can shoot, and the fact that they're kind of not that reliable at single target damage.
No.
Like I've had a DDA like shoot a rhino and not do any wounds. I've also had a DDA shoot a rhino and overkill it by like multitudes.
Yep.
It's very swingy what you're going to get, and so yeah.
I'm personally not a fan of that, like the casino guns in terms of how many shots you get, because, like you were saying, they could do nothing. I play a lot of Necrons, and I had them shoot Ridge Runners a lot and not kill a Ridge Runner.
Dude,
and they should.
I had a mate. I played a game against a mate who had a very similar list like this, and I managed to get Canis Rex into his Tesseract Vault and literally just launched that thing into the sun and did 40 damage to it. And then one DDA comes out and takes off 18 wounds from Canis Rex.
Yikes!
With one activation. I was like, huh.
Well, how about that?
Fair enough. Yeah, there you go.
We just roll better.
Yeah, it's true. Roll better.
Yeah, he had dev wins. You roll better. Yeah. All right, what are we going to pick, boys? Dustin's first this one.
I'm first?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah? Well, I'm going to take Eldari then.
We rotate. That's fair. We would. Paul, what would you like, mate?
Let's go with... This is tough because I got to get serious here.
Oh, Paul's taking it seriously now.
I know. Well, I'll say Necrons.
That's a good pick.
Necrons. Well, yeah, best Necrons player in the world last year is in attendance. Hard not to pick against. I'm going to go Astra Mill because I'm going to go throw him a bone after no one's picked him all show.
So that is the hard, crunchy part of this episode. We have been also embroiled in a bitter battle to decide which is the best of certain genres. Is our topic suggested and then spun off
so hard
from Patreon. And look, if you've made it this far, please do not forget to like, share, subscribe, and leave some comments, please. That is a hassle-free way to interact with the algorithms and let people know they should also come and hang out and listen to this and watch us, if you can, live, hang out with this amazing chat community, and join in some of these spirited debates and have your finger on the pulse of the meta happening all around the world for Warhammer 40,000. I'm jazzed. Another way that is a slightly more hassle is checking us out on Patreon. Patreon, if you are so inclined or so able to do so, is another way to show your support of the show. It takes a lot of work to put this together, and that is just one way to help keep the things greased and moving. But with all that said, here at the last part of the show, we like to talk about stuff that has very little to do with 40K sometimes. And this is a segment we call the Fuego Rapido, where we give ourselves a series of topics and a clock. And each one of those topics has a certain time attached to it. Once that time runs out, we have to abandon the topic, never to return to it again, unless the before-mentioned Patreon suggests that we do. But now, these last couple of weeks, we've been doing things a little bit differently as we headlong, full steam ahead into what will be a battle of the ages, best in class, best in genre for all types of things, based on our opinions.
Yeah, that's the footnote, right? Our opinion.
Yeah.
Well, but classically, we predict winners.
Exactly. We've proven to do that. So
So bring us up to speed, Dusty. What did we do last week, and what are we doing this week?
We are currently getting the brackets ready for the different genres. We want 16 movies for not all the genres, but I've narrowed it down to 8 at least so we can cover as much as we can. And we're going to be pitting them against each other, and then eventually we're going to put all those winners against each other to find out the best movie of all time after we get the best movie from each genre. Last week, we did... I got this in the Discord chat. Yes, it's all in the Discord chat. We did horror, comedy, fantasy, sci-fi, action. So we're going to do 3 more today. I had to narrow it down. I didn't want to do more, but that would get ridiculous if we did every single existing genre. So I tried to generalize it, and then at the end of this too, I have one last category of just movies we missed. So I could take those and shove them into whatever category we need to put them in to make sure we have everything covered as much as possible. So chat, we need your help to make sure we don't miss anything here. And we don't want to duplicate any that we've already mentioned. I have the list up here, so I will buzz you if you've already called the movie. Not
Dang.
actually, I'm not actually buzzing you. I'm just gonna tell you that no, pick something else. We already got that one. Okay, so for tonight, we need to start off with the top 12 drama.
Ooh, drama.
And
Okay.
we have to start with Godfather 2.
Yeah.
Right?
So wait, Godfather 1's not
Yeah.
drama?
Well,
Or do we already do it?
we did not already do it, but do we want to put both of them in there, or are we already? I feel like Godfather 2 beats it, right?
Godfather 2, but see, you could just say the Godfather, except Godfather 3
Yeah.
That's
exists,
true.
and people
Well,
don't
yeah,
seem
that's
to
why
care
I
Yeah,
about
exactly right.
it.
Exactly right.
Say the Godfather then.
I
Yeah.
just say Godfather. Yeah.
Okay. Godfather.
Apocalypse Now.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
Great call.
Platoon.
Yep.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, that's
What is the one that's like? It's another war one. A Full Metal Jacket.
Yep.
One
I'd like
Flew
to.
Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Shawshank Redemption.
oh Shawshank Redemption. Yep.
What's the? There's another one played on TBS continuously.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Citizen Kane.
Clockwork-
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, Citizen Kane's a great one. Is a Clockwork Orange a drama?
You could run. You could
Yeah.
put it in the drama
Yeah, I could put
category.
it-
Yeah.
Yeah. Clockwork Orange.
Da-da-da-da. Forrest Gump.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Definitely. We're burning through drama a lot better than I thought we would. I'm not gonna lie.
We are. Schindler's List.
Oh yeah, obviously there.
And I'm all out. That's everything I got.
That's it.
That's it. That's all I've got to contribute.
JFK. Platoon sucks. KR, I'm banning you.
Look, we might be able to drop off one
banned
of
you
them.
lately, KR.
We might be able to drop off one of the war movies.
Yes, 'cause some of them are kind of, I guess, maybe
Yeah.
potentially.
Repetitive. I think Full Metal Jacket for me, or Platoon. I didn't love Apocalypse Now as much as the other two.
Do we have a Western category?
I was going to make that one of the categories.
Then Unforgiven is on this list.
Okay, Unforgiven. There we go.
Hmm.
You know what? I'm going to put another Western on here too. Then I'm going to put Tombstone.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the
yeah.
original. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tombstone.
Love that movie.
Saving Private Ryan. That's yeah.
Yeah, that counts.
That counts.
Although we just
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if we're putting Saving Private Ryan on, yeah, wow. You could, yeah.
No, we don't need to.
Nah, I mean,
no, that counts. That's,
yeah, it does. It
man,
does absolutely.
I
count.
remember me and a buddy. Well, we went to see Saving Private Ryan, and we were like, "Tom Hanks, man, get out of here!" Like, man, we sat just jaw wide, open for the first hour, and then we at the end of that first scene or whatever, look at each other, is like, war as
Damn.
hell. Yeah,
100%.
Like, it was.
All right, what's on the list?
We're at 12, so I mean we're good right now. This is anyone you want to add on here. So I have The Godfather, Apocalypse Now, Platoon, Full Metal Jacket, Shawshank Redemption, Citizen Kane, Clockwork Orange, Forrest Gump, Schindler's List, Unforgiven, Tombstone, and Saving Private Ryan. Apollo
I'm pretty
13,
happy
I'm
with
going to put instead of Saving Private Ryan. I think that one's
I
actually.
mean, is Pulp Fiction a drama?
Ooh, I'm putting it in there.
Yeah, damn. Okay. Yeah, check it in. That's a great call.
But Apollo 13, I actually do like. That should be in here too.
People love that movie. That's not it didn't do it for me, but I get it.
You get it?
You got
Okay.
some quality acting
Okay.
happening.
We got the 14 there. We're good then. Okay, cool. The next one. Historical fiction.
Ooh.
Historical fiction. I know I've seen historical fiction movies, and we just named a bunch of them.
We
Like,
did.
We did.
there's like-
Good. Gladiator.
Yeah.
That's-
Gladiator. That's historical fiction for sure.
Absolutely is.
even though none of that have it, I get like, well, I guess it's technically a period piece.
Yeah. 300. Yeah. Is that going to be in the top here? I mean,
I enjoy 300. I don't think it's in the top.
yeah.
I may need to do a little internet search to see what counts as historical fiction.
Well, I always consider it as like they're telling their own story.
Yeah.
in-
It takes place
in
in
the
the
past.
historical period.
Yeah.
Like a real historical
Yeah.
period, but their own take on it. Oh, Last
I mean,
Samurai.
Gladiator
That one.
was the first one to come up. So
I'm putting in
you know.
Last
Yeah.
Samurai. You guys can't say anything.
Yeah. No, damn it. I don't want that in there.
Okay, we're not putting it in there.
Ben-Hur.
Ben-Hur,
original.
yes, that's good
Yeah, 1959. One of the greatest, biggest production movies of all time.
for sure.
Ooh. So look, I cheated slightly. I just had to look on the internet. But Last of the Mohicans,
Last of the Mohicans,
Kingdom of
absolutely.
Heaven,
Great call.
Which one? Kingdom of Heaven?
Kingdom of Heaven.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, The Revenant.
Yes.
Ooh,
Windmill
yes.
Slam.
I have seen those movies, but I did. That's what this like. I did a whole internet help
Hey,
for that
Google,
one.
Google can help us. It's
Mm.
okay. We don't want to miss anything. That's important, right?
I got one for you Americans. Glory.
Glory is good. Gone with the Wind also
Yep.
has to count.
Oh,
With
yeah.
Gone with the
Master and
Wind?
Commander.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, Gone with the
Paul
Wind has to
Bettany
count.
in that. Paul Bettany's in that too, right? And
Master and
Russell
Commander.
Crowe.
Yeah, Russell Crowe. I missed one in between there. I got after the Revenant, Gone with the Wind, Master
Oh.
Commander. What'd you say? Was there another one in there?
I don't think as long as you got Gone with the Wind.
I got Gone with the Wind.
Yeah.
I did.
Oh, Troy.
Troy. Yes.
Yeah, Troy could go in there. I also think we should do Lawrence of Arabia.
Lawrence
Yeah.
of Arabia.
Yep. Another one of the OGs.
I enjoyed Knight's Tale. I don't know if I put it on here, but I definitely enjoyed it.
Nah, I'm sorry. It's up there with 300. I enjoy it, but I don't think it's the greatest of all time.
I love that movie.
Me
The
too.
juxtaposition between the fantasy, the time period, and the modern.
Yeah, well, they're all jiving to rock music on the,
Yes.
on the medieval dance floor.
What about the
And then speaking
Oh, Braveheart. We didn't put Braveheart in here.
Braveheart, yeah, okay.
100% Braveheart. If we're putting Braveheart, we can't put Patriot.
That's right.
It's the same
That's
movie.
why I axed the Patriot. We got Braveheart. So we don't need
Yeah,
Yeah, he's like, wait a second, this is another guy. This is the same
Yeah,
guy.
it's the guy. It's the guy. You could argue Last Samurai is the same movie as well. Actually, like Last Samurai is more akin to Last of the Mohicans. So.
Yeah.
How many we got?
KR says Troy was horrible. Look, I mean, that was one of those movies like, well, I guess I'm a fan of Brad Pitt. Look, man, did you see what he just
We got
did?
10
Yeah.
so far.
We got 10.
Enemy at the Gates. That was pretty good.
That was pretty good. Yep.
Would you put that on here?
Oh, we need 12.
We need 12. Ideally, want to get to 16. So if we go over 12, it's fine. But 12 is the minimum.
Does it count if it was like a play that became a movie, like Henry V?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Still a
counts.
movie.
I mean, if it was a good movie, yeah, sure.
Henry V.
Kenneth Branagh.
I don't think that's what's going to make too far because I don't think it sounds like Adam and I haven't seen that one.
Well, you got some homework to do before we get around.
Oh
to the
yeah,
final.
we got some work to do.
We'll come back to the historical fiction movies then, I guess. Romeo and Juliet.
Oh yeah.
I'm not putting that in here.
Oh,
What
look
do
at
you
that!
mean?
Selective editing. We got spots to fill, but like anything but that.
Black Hawk Down's in there too, actually.
I'd put Hacksaw Ridge in there over Black Hawk Down.
Hacksaw Ridge. Yeah, I could do that. Okay, that's 12.
Yeah. Done.
The King, is that the one with Sean Connery in it?
No, that's the one with
suggestion,
Shyamalan. No, not Shyamalan. Chalamet.
Oh,
it's recent. Dunkirk. I would chuck Dunkirk on there.
Instead of Hacksaw.
Yeah. Hacksaw was good, but Dunkirk was fantastic.
where's Rocky?
We got Kingdom of Heaven already. Yes. Sorry, what was?
So where does Rocky fit?
Oh yeah.
I think we have Rocky.
The only reason I say that is there is a statue of Rocky in Philadelphia. If I remember.
Definitely needs to be Rocky somewhere. I just don't know where we put it. It's in action right now, so we got it.
All right.
Easy. All right. Well, sounds like we're good.
I think we're good for this one. All right, and the last of the official categories is thriller.
Oh, I got to mention this for my wife. Jurassic Park.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
I think we didn't. I'm pretty sure we covered that one. Unless
7.
specifically for us. No, we got it.
7.
7. Yes, that's one we were missing.
Clear and Present Danger.
Yep.
Love those movies.
You got to have where it started with Psycho.
Psycho, yeah, I could do that. Silence of the
Fast-
Lambs, I think.
Fast 5.
Fast 5.
Did you just say Fast
Yeah.
5? What? What?
I think Silence of the Lamb counts. I think Silence of the Lamb can go in
I
here.
think we have it in horror. I'm just double checking.
Okay.
We don't.
Oh, I guess we
don't
have some
have
of
it?
these actions.
That feels
Yeah.
Okay, I'm putting Silence of the Lambs in then because we don't have it anywhere. I don't think. Okay, that's definitely got to be on this list.
I've got one.
I feel like the Mission Impossible films have to be in here somewhere.
I thought we did. Then we had Bond. Well, that could be. Keep those in mind for the next category.
Oh,
Okay. Usual
I gotta
Suspects.
write that one down too.
yeah, Usual Suspects.
Usual Suspects. Anybody want to get in a David Lynch film?
Yes.
Okay, which one?
Mulholland Drive? The crowd goes mild. I was just thinking like I was just trying to think of like one David Lynch film to get in here. Ditch
well,
that.
We
Donnie
said
Darko.
Dune. We could. Yeah.
Which one?
I said Donnie Darko.
Oh, okay. All right. What else we got?
Other thrillers that aren't horror movies or aren't action movies. That's where I'm drawing a blank. Is like what?
Yeah.
Hunt for Red October. Is that a thriller?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
With Clear Present
That's
Danger, it's the same. It's
Yeah.
the same character, different actors.
Fantastic film.
Okay.
I love that series. It's Hunt for Red October, Clear and Present Danger, Patriot Games, and I think they made some more.
Patriot Games. I think we have Patriot Games, but
Well, I'm saying that's a series of films.
Right.
You could basically one on this list is as good as another, I guess.
If we didn't have Interview with a Vampire in horror, I'd like to put it here.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Yes,
we
it should be
do.
for here for sure.
No.
Equalizer is a good choice too.
We don't
Yep,
have
I don't
Interview
mind
with the Vampire. We have Bram Stoker's Dracula. Does that count?
No,
Nah,
Okay.
Interview with a
Yeah,
Vampire.
those two. All right.
Different beast.
those are very different films.
I think I have one more to add to this, which is Leon the Professional.
Yeah, but is that a thriller though?
I don't know.
I guess it does have a.
I mean, it
Which
I
one?
say
could
it's an
only be-
action movie with all the guns, but
can only be thriller or action, right? If we don't have it in action, I'd like to chuck it in here.
Which one?
That's
I
Leon the
think you put it.
Professional.
I think you mentioned it. I agree with the choice, by the way.
Leon the Professional.
Yep.
Okay.
How many we got?
I think we're at 7.
Okay, jeez.
We did better with drama. 1, 2, 3, 4.
We did. Well, what is wrong with
Oh,
this?
sorry. We have 9.
Okay. Whew.
Which, to be fair, we did action and horror, so this is kind of like getting the in betweens that we're missing.
Oh, what about like I Am Legend?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll put that in there.
Yeah, don't mind that. I also quite liked Primal Fear with Edward Norton and Richard Gere.
Primal Fear. Okay. Speaking of Richard Gere, you know one underrated movie that I actually kind of like was The Jackal.
Oh yeah, that was pretty good.
I like that.
How's it going?
I don't know if I put it on here, but Taken.
Oh yeah, you can't take something from Liam Neeson.
Wait,
I don't know why. Who's going to take something from him again? Like Taken 3. Should have learned the first 2 times.
So I'm gonna throw out one here.
okay.
I absolutely loathe this director,
Oh,
but Sixth Sense was pretty good.
oh, okay. Yeah, I'll take. Yeah. Sixth Sense. Yeah, that's a good one. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think that's the only one from that director I'm willing to put on here, so I think that's fair.
Exactly the same.
like
exactly
I'm
the
actually
same.
looking, I'm looking through my brain Rolodex of other movies. Like, nope.
I just looked at the list. Bullet Train is on their list, and
Bullet Train.
yeah, this came on. It's on streaming
Is that
right
the
now.
one with like Brad Pitt and?
Brad Pitt is in
I
it. Yeah,
enjoyed that one. That was actually really good.
it's a great movie.
Yeah.
I don't know if I was trying to think of things that would beat some of the things we've already mentioned. I got nothing that's going to rival.
Yeah.
May come hang it. We'll check out the Discord, see if anything else comes.
Yeah.
I got two more to possibly add.
Okay.
How do you guys feel about Memento?
Yeah, it's good.
Yep.
It's not beaten like.
But I mean, we still
Up
need
for
to get to
October.
16 eventually anyway, so.
Yeah.
We did miss
And-
Casablanca. You're right, KR. That goes in drama.
Oh, we did. Yeah. And the other one would be Sleepy Hollow.
Citizen Kane.
Sleepy Hollow.
That is a good one.
Yeah, only if you guys rate it. I'm just throwing out.
In Thriller.
No, it was good. Yeah, no, look, we do have an opportunity to correct ourselves in the Discord, which we might.
Well,
do.
also remember this is just to get the 16 tree. They get eliminated pretty quick. They might get knocked out round 1, but that's fine. Somebody's got to get knocked out round 1.
It is. It's just when when we come out the gate, when we come off the blocks with like several great suggestions, it almost like, well, I could think of something, but it's not beating that. So
what's the movie with Denzel who is paralyzed and Angelina Jolie?
Paralyzed.
I don't.
Yeah, it's a murder mystery.
Oh, Bones. I think it's Bones.
Yeah, that one was really good.
Something bone, right? It says there's a bone.
Is it like Lovely Bones or something?
Collector?
Bone Collector.
That's yeah.
I'm not taking care of it.
If that
chat was saying that, so I'm just reading what chat.
Yeah, it is.
Bone Collector.
Thank y'all.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh, we almost got all the thrillers then.
Nice. All right, we'll leave one free.
And then the last one is the movies we forgot about. So this is the chance for everybody in chat to start naming off the movies that we have not mentioned. I completely forgot Mission Impossible, so I already put that on here because we completely forgot about that.
Undercover Blues.
Undercover Blues.
It's a comedy.
Yeah, please tell me the genre too, so I know where I can.
It is absolutely hilarious.
Did we do Blues Brothers as well in comedy?
Nope. Blues Brothers?
Yeah, we could.
Bad Boys? I'd put Bad Boys in somewhere. I like Bad Boys.
I mean, I wouldn't, but yeah. We're a democracy. Yeah, if I'm outvoted, you guys can go for it.
What does Paul think then?
I don't think it ranks, whatever. But yeah, definitely we have John Wick in here, like somewhere, don't we? Don't
Empire Strikes Back was one of the first films put up here. Don't worry, we got that one.
100%.
John Wick, okay.
And 2, I think 2 is and I love 1, but that one's got the scene that sets everything off, which doesn't sit well with everybody.
No, it doesn't.
Which understandably so, but like John Wick 2, I love it when they got into the lore and stuff. Like, whoa, this is some stuff.
Okay.
Event Horizon is a Warhammer movie. Yep.
100%.
Okay, I'm putting that in there. Then we can't not have it in there.
We should have one for Warhammer movies that aren't Warhammer movies.
We do.
Ooh, that's a good idea, actually.
We should just do that as a.
I mean, like Starship Troopers.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect. Dune. Yeah.
Wait, which Dune?
All right, we're on a tangent. Sorry, let's finish this up.
Yeah,
we actually didn't put Dune on here. I think we should put Dune on here.
What? I thought Dune was for sure on there.
We put Tron on here, didn't we?
Tron's a good movie. Especially, I like the Tron reboot too.
I didn't mind it. It was
Dune
a bit too.
Is
it was a bit
fantasy
too.
or sci-fi, guys. We missed Dune.
Yeah, we missed Dune.
I'm pretty sure we said Dune.
No.
We know we record. We can go back and check.
Yes, go ahead. I'm putting it in here.
Check the tapes.
Check the tapes. This is the last chance. Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
It's another enjoyable one. I don't know if I put it on the
Rocky Horror Picture Show was suggested in the chat also.
Rocky Horror Picture Show.
We put Blade Runner in.
Yeah.
Oh, we 100% put Blade Runner in.
Good. Did we put Planet of the Apes, the original?
I think that's in there.
Yep. We did.
Good stuff. We are good at this.
We are good at this.
Do we put back to? Yeah, do we put Back to the Future?
Yep.
Interstellar.
No.
Ooh. Does it rank? What do you boys think?
I mean, not for me, but
yeah, I could go either way on it.
Yeah, Spaceballs.
Spaceballs.
Oh yeah.
Okay, Spaceballs.
I love it. Don't put it in comedy. Put it in sci-fi.
I am not doing that. Sci-fi it's packed. Sci-fi is packed.
Got a shout out for Snowpiercer the movie. I didn't see the movie. I watched the show.
I haven't seen the movie.
I've seen a lot of Robin Hood Men in Tights being mentioned in the chat. I actually love that movie too.
Me too.
Yeah,
I'd
kind of hard not to like that movie when it came out.
All right, Robin Hood Men in Tights. We got it. Blazing Saddles. We have Fifth Element, don't we?
Surely we have to tell them.
Oh yeah, we forgot it, but we remembered it before we went off. I remember
had to go back.
We had to go back and had that in, but we got it.
Oh, and I'm sure there's some is Akira on the list anywhere?
It's in sci-fi.
Yeah.
Okay.
In sci-fi. Good. As it needs to be.
All right. I can sleep tonight. All right. Well, that may be it. Look, we still reserve the right to throw some suggestions in the Discord if y'all are listening.
Until next Thursday before the show starts to help us fill out the rest of these lists if we forgot anything. So jump on Discord, yell at us on Facebook. We don't have Facebook. On YouTube, the comments what we forgot to make sure that we have all the movies that should be included in here. Whether they try to keep it to ones that don't compete with the ones we've already mentioned, otherwise, they'll get knocked out pretty quick. Which we still
you never know. There could be something that bubbles into round 2 and where they get seeded and paired.
Yeah.
Because there are going to be some of these that when they get paired up, it's going to be like,
it's going to be hard.
Granted, I don't care what the box office did. These two movies paired up against each other. This one does it, kind of thing.
That's true.
Oh, but it will be a vote. Chat going to get a vote too. All right, everybody. That is our show this week. It has been a pleasure talking about all this nonsense and the Warhammer stuff in the first part of the show. Please, if you made it this far, do not forget to do all that stuff we mentioned. Hit the buttons and do the likes and the comments and stuff. That's feed right for our brains. Dustin, Adam, it's a pleasure hanging out with you all this week.
As always.
We'll be back again next week to do it. We'll see y'all soon, everybody. Have a great night.
See you, everybody.
Boy.